Hello everybody, I suppose an update on XRP is required. It's basically the star of the show and probably will be, I'd expect, for maybe the next week, for good or for bad. So at the moment, this is how we were playing it. So we made, I say we, I always refer to myself as a we, it's not really right, is it? First video I made, I said something's brewing around here below the 200 exponential, something certainly did brew and it pops. So now what's happening is that it's looking to sustain this move. We're breaking above the Ichimoku cloud on the daily. The last time we had a move quite so dramatic like that was down here when we had not a similar setup. It was a more bullish setup, but we exploded above this cloud. Now this doesn't look like a big move, but it is actually a big move. So we had our conversion baseline cross here, and I was expecting us to perhaps maybe make a move judged on the weekly. Where we had the conversion baseline cross here. So I said, look, something could happen at this point here. Let's not get too excited. We'll have to see how it plays out. And then when it did play out, we broke above this cloud. Now, if we have a look at this, right? someone pointed out to me on my Telegram group, because I haven't looked at XRP on the weekly in a while. I've kind of forgotten all about it because I was expecting the accumulation period to continue. I did put a cheeky long on there yesterday when I saw this brewing effect take place. I'm very happy I did that. But when it comes to the weekly chart, my member of the Patreon as well said, look, the Chiku span has avoided the price action this entire time. Does that mean that this has avoided the sell signal? Unfortunately not. When I looked at it here, we do actually have the negative cross take place here, but in all fairness, even though we have a negative cross on the weekly here, what could happen, and again, I'm trying to read technical analysis into an event which pretty much doesn't require it, but if we were to have this inverse cross, so if this were to cross back up on the weekly, remember the weekly is going to end, would this be about 14 hours, 13 hours? If we were to have this inverse cross take place on the weekly, it would be an extremely bullish sign again. Extremely bullish. It would be a cross above the cloud, Chiku span above price action. It would be a continuation move on a technical analysis basis. But read that into how you will. So what we're looking at now is we're looking to sustain these levels. Okay. These are the areas where there has been sell walls. 45 cent seems to have been breached. As you can see, we had a struggle here, we had a support here, we had a support here, and if we go to a daily, I suppose it's a lot more clear, and we can see that there was a big breakdown from that zone. We just go over here, we see a giant wick, a giant candle with an extended wick, which was the amount of 53% in a single day. Horrendous, tragic. But it happened, so now we're above that level, and this is what this red line is. We're above that level. If we can stay above this level for the rest of the day, or the majority of the day, close above this level, turn it to support, basically, it gives XRP the opportunity to then move and extend itself to its previous top, its previous local high, which from current price action would be a further 57% move from the price action we are at this very moment in time. That would just be our next area of significant, I suppose, resistance if we were to get there. Now, I've looked at this on the on TradingView, and we'll just bring that up now, so I'll show it to you. We have a giant fib retracement basically that will give us more targets when we look at what happens after we break that zone. The zone would be here at 86, between 86 and 87 cent, out of the 236, the blood seller. This would be the area to break, and this has been the area to break all this time. This entire time, the vast majority of the last couple of years, this has been the accumulation zone that needs to break. Once that area breaks, I'm very, very hopeful, in fact, that we will start to make incremental steps up into these areas, like $1.34, which was my target that I said on my video yesterday. This would be the next level of super resistance, where we basically struggled to, I suppose, try to support here, but effectively broke down into this zone here. So you can see that this was another giant XRP wick that basically took us all the way down and bounced from the top to the bottom, but essentially, this is the zone to really start to think about, is there enough volume, is there enough buying pressure, is there too many sells to break above that level of $1.34? Now, if there is, it's a simple matter of retracing this back up on the fib retracement on this weekly chart from its all-time high to its all-time low. These will be the steps that we'll be needing to take to smash these through. Next up would be $1.72, all the way up to $2.10, all the way up to $2.60, all the way up to its previous all-time high. And obviously, if that breaks, there's really very little sell walls available at that point. It's a blue sky breakout, could completely melt up, and this is a really big deal if it were to happen. So like I say, we're a long way off from all of that. These areas are significant resistance, but not to say that they can't be broken. Resistances get broken frequently, but they are resistances all the same. So like I say, I mean, it's a work in progress, isn't it? We're going to have to see how this week closes. Hopefully we get that itchy cloud cross on the weekly. I doubt it though, but if we did, that would be pretty impressive stuff. And also we're going to have to see how this all plays out throughout the week. I would imagine the way that it's going right now, it is going to continue to pump past its previous its previous local high, and then from there I would target basically about $1.34 to start with and see how it responds to that. But once momentum builds on XRP, I mean, we've seen it in the past. If you've been around anyways from 2017, we've seen it in the past, and it is impressive how it does run. We've got a giant big buy signal on this weekly here. We had a buy signal on this weekly. If we can close a weekly similar to this one, look at how it achieved these last few weeks afterwards. We'll just have to see, wait and watch. It's a spectacle. It's definitely interesting. I'll give you that. But as far as trying to get involved on a move like this, it's going to be very, very difficult. But the hourly kind of has it in a way, respecting moving averages, just like you'd expect with any pump, regardless of how it's been contrived, if it's been contrived, or how where the pump came from. There's still method to it. On the hourly, I would say is probably the best course of action, and the half hourly will do it. But on the hourly, the 10 exponential moving average largely is being used. If not, we come down to the half hourly, and we can see that essentially it's difficult to see, but the 20 daily on here, this big pink one in the middle, can also be used, and they more or less are going to be in the same place because one's a 20 moving average and one's a 10 exponential, so they are more or less going to be in the same place anyway. You can use both of those to essentially try and get yourself an entry point with extreme risk, because I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I certainly won't be trying to buy those dips on an asset quite so volatile. But like I say, as far as the chart's concerned, regardless of how this pump has come about, it's now created a situation where it's actually being traded as well, which is why it's respecting these moving averages. So it's not just FOMO, there is trading taking place on top of that FOMO, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice weekend, and take it easy.